Hey trackies, welcome back to another video here on TXT Track Time. Please remember to like the video and also subscribe to the channel. Nothing screams outdoors like a massive clash over the 100 meters, and we have one that is set to happen on the 3rd of May in Keisho, China. I'm hoping I pronounced that correctly. And trackies, I'm quite intrigued with this lineup, and I'm thrilled to tell you my thoughts about this particular lineup and how it could potentially go. Now, one thing that impresses me so far with this particular lineup is that we have quite a few athletes that were in the men's 100-meter finals at the 2024 Paris Olympic Games. And what makes it particularly interesting to me is that in that finals, majority of the men there did run a personal best in that 100-meter final. So those men coming off a big 2024 where they timed their seasons perfectly and ran their best race in the Olympic finals. Starting off 2025, for me, it's going to be a big year for these athletes, and the world pretty much awaits them. And I'm excited to dive into this particular list. Now, right off the bat, we have the Jamaican Kishane Thompson. He was the Olympic silver medalist in that 100-meter final. We have Coleman Marcel, we have Letsile Tebogo, and we have Akani Simbine. So right there, we have 4 athletes that were part of the men's 100-meter finals at the Paris Olympic Games. We have former world champion Christian Coleman all the way back in 2019. We have the Brit Jeremy Azu, and we also have Ji Zhenyi from China. So quite the strong lineup as far as I'm concerned, especially trackies when we look at personal bests. Now, remember I said most of these athletes ran their personal best at the Paris Olympic Games in that 100-meter finals. That was a thrilling 100-meter finals. I believe it was the fastest in history. Don't believe it's the greatest because I don't think anything outdoes Usain Bolt London 2012 with that 9.63 seconds and almost all men dipping below 10 seconds. That race for me was epic save aside for pulling up. But that said, this race collectively is the fastest, I believe. Now, we had Kishane Thompson. He ran a 9.79. This wasn't his personal best. His personal best is 9.77. But hey, if you're running in the range of it, trackies, that to me is also running, at peak performance as far as I'm concerned. So 9.79 for Kishane. And then we had Akani Simbine, who was 4th. He ran a 9.82. Then we had Lamont Marcel Jacobs, who ran a 9.85. For Marcel Jacobs, this wasn't quite his personal best. His personal best is a 9.80 seconds. Here he ran a 9.85 seconds. However, this is the fastest he's run in a minute. So he definitely pulled out the best he had for 2024, clocking that 9.85 seconds. And I believe he's also on the return as well to that Marcel that we learned off in 2021, to be fair. Letsile Tebogo, who ran a 9.86, as I said, 9.82, 9.86, all personal best in this men's 100-meter finals. But if you realize these times are very, very close, it's pretty much probably just a chest width. Now, that being said, trackies, for me, in this men's 100 meters, going off what I've seen in recent times, I'm also intrigued to see what will happen from a Christian Coleman perspective. Now, for Christian Coleman, his fastest in 2024 was 9.86 seconds, which is pretty much similar to what a Letsile Tebogo ran. So as you can see, trackies, not much separation when you think about the athletes and the performances, the times that they were able to clock. Pretty close. Now, when I look at it though, trackies, from simply just an execution perspective and what I've seen from each athlete, I'll definitely still think that Kishane goes into this race as the hot favorite. My expectation is for Kishane Thompson to take this particular win. Now, what intrigues me about Christian Coleman is the fact that I did witness a really amazing leg on that 4x100 meters at the Paris Olympic Games. It didn't really transfer to his actual 100 meters because he did run after that. He ran a 9.92 and he ran a 10.00 seconds at the Diamond League events that came up. So didn't really transfer. But I thought That was actually the fastest I've ever seen him go on a relay leg, which was making me think that, hey, I wonder if Christian Coleman is anything closer to what his PB is, which was a 9.76 seconds. But as I said, the races after that didn't really show that he was anywhere close to his personal best. As I said, 9.92 and 10.00 seconds, 10 seconds on the nose. That being said, I'm still interested in what will happen with him. I know he will get a phenomenal start in the race. Actually, I am interested in seeing how Kishane starts matches up against a Christian Coleman. I know for 2025, Kishane has been working on that start. So I want to see what it looks like against a Christian Coleman. We know Christian Coleman is going to blast out of the blocks. The question is, can he hold on for the last 40? That's a big question with a Christian Coleman. But we all know that Kishane will be getting into the best part of his running for the end of the race. And my expectation is to see him win this race. But as I said, I'm curious to see what his start would look like against a Christian Coleman. No, Marcel Jacobs, typically, I wouldn't say starts the season the strongest. He pretty much gets into his season towards the end. So let's see how that race goes. Letsile starts pretty strong. Akani also starts pretty strong. I'm expecting Akani to feature in this race. I will probably say my winner is Kishane Thompson, and then I will say maybe I'll give the nod to a Akani slash Christian slash Letsile. Okay, that's not really choosing second place. All right, let me say I'll probably go Akani second. I am giving the season. I'm expecting him to be in good shape, even though this is probably one of the first races that they'll be running. I'm not expecting any crazy time to come out of this particular race, but the performances will still stand as it relates to the results first, second, third. Right. So I'm expecting. This is what I will say. I will say that second through to fourth is going to be very, very close. And I think it's between Akani, Letsile, and Christian Coleman. I do think Akani, I'm giving him the slight edge. Then I'm going to say Letsile, and then I'm going to say Christian Coleman. Then I'm going to say Lamont with everybody else that's potentially in that race. All right, so trackies, these are my initial thoughts based on this men's 100-meter lineup. If they do participate in a 100 meters prior to this May 3rd date, then of course my thoughts may change, because given what they do, I may say, hey, I may need to reshuffle my order in terms of my expectations for this men's 100 meters. But so far, I definitely think it's well within Kishane's capability in this race. If he's going to be in the world, then yeah, he has to come out and win regardless of whoever is in the field. Doesn't, as I said, the time at this particular stage doesn't really matter, but as I said, just winning in general needs to become a thing for him, so that when he gets to the global stage, we win again. We're looking for that world championship gold 100%. But anyway, trackers, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you think this race will go? I know some of y'all are going to say, hey, T, let's not jump the gun. Kishane Thompson may not start. Yes, that's a possibility as well. And if that happens, I may mope around in my house for a couple of days. But until such time, trackers, right now he's down on the start list. I'm not going to be thinking about an eventuality that may not happen, right? So far, he's down on the list, so let's work with that. Like the video, of course, trackies, and subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye.